There.
So, welcome to Open Caller. I am Corey Willis with Michelle Sheth. Throw a quick shout out to our live stream viewers, youtube.com/govnc. Thanks for watching. And to all those listeners on our podcasting platforms, thanks for listening, joining. Thanks for sharing if you shared. If you haven't, that share button. Like it when people
Yeah,
share.
you
Prove them
should
wrong,
hit it.
but not quit it.
No, don't quit it.
Just hit it. Gentle. Okay, so not much I think happened between the last 7 days for
I
us.
think so.
Working, you've been working, but in between that, pretty sure we've been sitting in front of our televisions on the couch with a PlayStation 4 controller in our hand playing Spider-Man.
That's right. And or, uh, and or, uh, with our Nintendo Switches.
That too. So for those unaware, well, they should be aware if they listen to the show. We talked about it before. Um, new Spider-Man game was released for PlayStation 4, PS4 exclusive.
And it's so good.
Insomniac, that's the developer.
That's right.
So yeah, that came out. You could describe it as basically like the Arkham series, but with Spider-Man and not as dark.
Definitely not as dark. And while it's just as kind of, what's the word, repetitive-ish in uh, in the quests and tasks that you have to do,
Doesn't matter.
it doesn't even matter because I can fly from one end of the city to the next and or to the end of the other one, and it's so much fun just swinging around.
Yeah, we
Like
talked
with yeah, without doing any of the tasks.
like they had demos at E3 and other gaming things. That's what people were saying, that most folks weren't doing story. They were just web swinging from one end of the city to the next. I've heard some folks review, and they say that's what they're doing. They're
And
doing.
it's not that the story isn't good, because when I decide I'm gonna actually try and progress through the game, like I still have fun doing that also, but then I start swinging and like it's just so much fun.
It really does make you feel like
Yeah,
physically.
yeah, the mechanics are incredible, and I love that if you are jumping from the ground, you can pretty much like swing, from anything. But if you're from a very high building, like let's say you jump off of, you know, Avengers Tower, you
That's
can't just, yeah, like you can't just swing right away. You have to wait until you get lower, like low enough to the other buildings. And I think that's amazing because that's always one of the things in the movies is that he's just, you don't know what he's slinging his web to, even when he's flying up to the Empire State Building. Um,
was subdivision, and he got to like an open field and
yeah,
Fatang and nothing good.
that part was great.
That has happened quite a few times in the game for me. You get to like a central park area, and there's like buildings on one side and only trees on the other, and you're uh,
Yeah, but even things like flying through, you know, or parts of the city that, yeah, like the Central Park is, you can't get a lot of speed because there's just not a lot of momentum with your swing,
Mhm.
and so it's good that way. It's a great game, and the graphics are awesome. I never really wished I had a PS4 Pro, but now I kind of do, just because the graphics look so good on this that I can only imagine it looks better playing on a PS4 Pro.
And with
But
that, word came out today that it's officially the fastest selling exclusive title on the PlayStation platform. It sold 3.3 million copies in 3 days, beating
That's
War, which was 3.1, and I came out in April.
that's wild though. And does that include like pre-orders and stuff like that, or
Yeah, that's just as many copies have been moved off shelves.
that's insane? Half of that's more than half of that's probably been pre-orders. Like this game had so much hype going into it, and I think it delivered at least for now. I'm not sure about replayability, but I think it'll still be fun um, knowing the like fighting mechanics a little bit better.
Mhm.
Um, like playing on a harder setting, but having a better idea of how to actually go into fights. Because right now I am just going in, swinging with my punches and stuff, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But I think I'll get better at actually going in with some kind of plan.
Button mashing, no more.
No more.
Strategy.
Yes, I am Spider Mash. No more.
Oh, so do you know how far you've progressed so far?
36% or something of the story. But I think a lot of that is just collecting backpacks and landmarks and all that stuff. Uh, less than four. What actual game part are you at, like story wise?
The last one was the first introduction with MJ at the museum,
Okay,
and then like the diner scene after that, and the rest I've been just going around. Same thing, backpacks.
yeah. I think I
So
have like I think I've there's one area, the area that has Avengers Tower in it. Um, I have like 7 or 8 of the backpacks to get, and then a couple more spread out. I think I have 10 or 11 backpacks left, and just a few more landmarks. Uh, I've gotten a bit farther than where you are in the game. Um, I'm still trying to figure out. I have to get farther to be able to unlock challenge tokens.
okay,
Um, because okay, first I need to be better at getting base tokens because I cannot upgrade any of my suits. Um, and then after that, the research ones are pretty fun. Have you gotten that part to unlock the research stuff? So they're pretty good. They're just like quick little mini games, but they're not that easy either. Um, but then I guess after that, there's challenge tokens that you need to do, and I don't know how many more things I have to do. But right now, I'm helping Doc Ock build his little arms. So I'm hoping that fight will be pretty fun.
spoilers again.
Yeah, spoiler alert. Sorry.
So let's marginally switch gears, and again, we've talked about this at nauseum, but Nintendo is officially online
Finally.
Tuesday, 18th.
Yeah,
So far,
I
are
like
you
it. The being able to play Super Mario 3 at work or just not in front of the TV is awesome.
game changer?
Absolutely. Um, one thing that I'm not like 100% on is um, so so when I sign up for Nintendo Online, uh, which for anyone who doesn't know is relatively cheap compared to the PlayStation and Xbox versions of the same thing. It's $25 a month Canadian. Sorry, $25 a year Canadian for one account, or you can do a family account, and it's $45 for the year for up to 8 accounts on that plan. But when I sign up, it's like, oh, you can play, you know, Mario Tennis and Mario Kart online. But we were able to do that before. So what is the new, like, what new functionality are we gaining? Do you know? Like, I
We're not.
haven't been able to find.
They let you do it for free before, now they're making you pay for it.
Ah, okay. So, okay, I get it. So now, without having the subscription, we weren't able to play. Like we wouldn't be able to play.
Yeah, whenever they launched it.
Ah, well, that's kind of annoying, I guess, but also not really. Um, that's all right. But being able to do like we're gonna have to start a some sort of boxing match. Can we do that? Can I play an NES game with you online?
Yeah, I think so. Be sure.
Progress in it when we're playing, like when we're online together?
I think so.
Sweet. We should do a boxing one.
Well, think it will. If I'm thinking, most of NES games were one player, or if it's two players, it's your turn to my turn, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's probably what it would be like. Yeah, not like we play like together against each other.
No, there's probably some.
Ice
Like if
hockey.
they ice hockey, exactly. That's what I was thinking. But if they add Blades of Steel to it,
Oh yeah.
we are gonna be flipping that pass so hard.
Yeah. As we mentioned before, just to throw the comparison, a full year membership for PlayStation Plus is $69.99 for one person.
Canadian.
Yeah.
And Xbox, same, right? 70-ish.
Yeah.
So that's it's when you think about it in the sense of that's how much a game costs, it's like not the worst, right?
No.
You're
Comparison, it's 6 months is 45. So you're getting
yeah,
basically double the amount of time for what eight accounts you said.
yeah.
No.
Um, and like granted, it doesn't have as many features as these other ones for sure, and the voice chat is really poorly implemented. I'd say I haven't tried it, but it just seems like it's a bad way to do it. But maybe they'll change it. Right now, you have to download the Nintendo Switch online app and then plug your headphones in or your Bluetooth. You're basically talking on the phone with the other person
Right.
instead of just having like a headset that's connected online kind of thing. Just seems weird.
I need two charge devices.
Yeah.
All right, so
But
let's move along. Let's get into these teas for this week.
I thought we
Sponsor.
would do the showdown first.
Yeah, no, we'll do this, and then
All
we'll
right.
go. Let's make some money.
Sounds good.
The sponsors.
So, yeah, go sponsors. Uh, so, as most of you know, if you're listening, I love Friends. It is one of, if not my favorite show um, of all time. It's not without its problems, but it's still an amazing show. And my t shirt is just a picture of the Friends, and it says Friends underneath. That's
I didn't get that.
it says Friends. Yeah, it's a. I don't wear it too often. It's more of a at home kind of t-shirt, but it's a good one.
So you don't wear your friend's shirt when you're out with your friends?
Absolutely not.
No. Okay. Well.
It's when I wear my enemy shirt. just just so they know where I'm at.
Okay,
You are?
that's these teas for this week. Visit 80stees.com, enter the promo code OpenCollar30 at checkout to save 30% on your purchase. 80stees.com. Celebrate your inner 80s kid with the raddest retro t-shirts and pop culture gear. So yeah, as you said with your shirt, apropos as it were, let's kick off this week's round of the TV show theme song tournament. Here's the theme.
And now, the TV show theme song tournament.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll just recap the rules. So the theme songs we're going are for sitcoms. It's songs with lyrics that were written for the show, not songs that were written and then used on the show. So 2 votes. I guess you and I. So if we have a tie break, since Ryan's not here, I have his scores tabulated. They went through the. I crunched some numbers. Press the crunch button. So
I'm gonna need you to crush that again. There we go.
They did not change. So we'll play them. If you have had enough, you had enough nostalgia, we'll cut it and then we'll debate. We need to debate. We'll find out. So let me just
Cue it up.
off here. Synopsis eyes up. So this show ran on ABC from September 24th, 1993 until its finale on May 5th of 2000, spanning 7 seasons. It chronicles the everyday events and life lessons of one Corey Matthews and his friends and his teacher, Mr. Feeney. This is Boy Meets World.
All right, I'm good with that one.
Good, because it's done.
It's done. Perfect.
Okay. And it is taking on this show that aired on NBC from September 23rd, 1992 until its finale on May 24th, 1999. The series focuses mainly on newlyweds Paul Bachman, a documentary filmmaker, and Jamie Buckman, a public relations specialist, as they deal with everything from humorous daily minute to major struggles. Starring Paul Reiser and Helen Hunt, this is Mad About You. It's too quiet.
Too quiet.
Pick up any?
I'm getting a bit. It's a bit. It's cutting in and out for me, but all right. So what are you thinking?
Oh, was that the Beach Boys or
Was it? We need Ryan on here talking about who's singing who's singing what. Um, I personally didn't watch a lot of Mad About You. I did watch it, but it was never a show that I felt I needed to watch. Whereas Boy Meets World, I probably didn't miss any episodes when they were on TV, kind of thing. Like I really liked the show. Feeney was hilarious, as all principals are, and lots of very wholesome life lessons, all that kind of stuff. As when you're growing up, it was very after school, especially, every episode. Mad About You, I think, was just a bit too like old. Yeah, for me.
Yeah.
It was it's very much like Frasier, you know?
Yeah.
When I watched it as a kid, I was like, I don't get these jokes. Um they're not funny. But, rewatching a little bit later as I grew up, Frasier's actually a pretty good show. And maybe Mad About You also would have been good if I had waited a few years to watch it. But just because of that, I'm going to have to put my vote in for Boy Meets World.
When it was on, I remember them making a big deal of like this one episode where they're, I guess, trying to like crib break the baby, and it was all shot with like from the hallway, so it just showed the door of like the nursery, and the whole episode was just that one shot. They never left that hallway.
Oh,
Other
really?
than that, I don't remember it much at all.
Yeah.
So, I too will have to go Boy Meets World for this one.
Nice.
That is
Big win for Boy Meets World.
it's here for the boys.
In the world.
Boys in the world. Okay, next up, this one here. It's American sitcom that was a spin-off of The Cosby Show that aired 6 seasons on NBC from 1987 to 1993. The series was originally centered on Denise Huxtable and students at Hillman College. After she left, the show shifted and focused primarily on Whitley Gilbert and math whiz Dwayne Wayne, not to be confused with David. So this is a different world.
I know my parents loved me. Stand behind me, come what may. I know now that I'm ready, yeah.
It was just such a good intro. Like not just the song, but the
Camera that like
yeah,
pan
that pan and like people just walking through the rooms. I think like it's a very memorable uh intro for sure.
and going up against Aretha Franklin. So that was. The show originally ran on CBS from 1998 to 2007 for a total of 9 seasons and 207 episodes. The series starred one Kevin James as Doug Heffernan, with Remini as his wife Carrie, respectively, as a working class couple living in Queens, New York. So this, of course, is the King of Queens.
My eyes are getting weary. My back is getting tight. I'm sitting here in traffic on the Queensboro Bridge tonight. But I don't care, cause all I wanna do is cash my check and drive right home to you. Maybe all my life I will be driving home to you.
All right. That was a pretty funny show.
Yeah.
I don't love the girl in that episode in the show. What's her name?
Lee Remini?
Yeah. Not a huge fan, but Kevin James is funny. It's hard to deny that. I still got to go with. Yeah, I don't think I can choose King of Queens for this one. Just the song itself it's whatever.
Mhm.
But yeah, I I probably watched more King of Queens, but I don't think I can.
Yeah, like I said, do you
Yeah.
remember A Different World more? Like you remember?
Yeah,
We remember not so much the song as we remember the opening credits. Just it lasts. It's more a more lasting memory of with that one.
exactly. And like I did watch Cosby Show a lot growing up too. So, it was nice to have another show that was more like grown up, and that was probably great for a lot of people. There was I'm sure that when I watched A Different World, like there's just a lot of jokes that went way over my head. But, it's kind of like
It's mainly probably a race thing too, right? Because there's a lot of black culture and everything.
yeah. I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but it's probably very similar to the way that my dad watched Simpsons with me when I was a kid. A lot of the jokes were probably just way over his head with language barrier and stuff like that.
Yep.
But, Homer would run into a wall, and that's funny in every language. And so I think that's where a lot of the humor for me came in A Different World was, things that are just funny no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm going Different World on that one.
Yeah, I'm going A Different World again from the three of lasting memory of all that. Well, that intro, right? It's everlasting.
Exactly.
Okay, into the heavy hitters here. So this one ran on ABC as part of TJF Friday Night Light Up from 1991 to 1997.
I choose this one no matter what. Anything in TGIF wins.
Moved to CBS 97 until 98. It starred Patrick Duffy and Suzanne Summers as single parents, each with 3 children who spontaneously marry after meeting on vacation, resulting in the Brady Bunch. I mean, step by step. This is the same guy that did Family Matters.
Is it?
And
Dinosaurs. just did the whole TGIF lineup.
Guitar riff, eh?
All right.
Okay. And it is up against this show that aired on NBC from 1990 to 1996. Show stars one Will the Fresh Prince Smith as a fictionalized version of himself as a street smart teenager from West Philadelphia who is sent to live with his wealthy aunt and uncle in Bel Air. This, of course, Fresh Prince of Bel Air.
Now this is a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down, and I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there. I'll tell you how I became the prince of a town called Bel Air.
Like, I mean, do we need to discuss this, or it's like, are we pitting up the first ranked against the 16th ranked here?
Now, I don't know about you, but I remember watching the show in syndication, and you get the cold open, and then you hear, right?
Yeah.
When that had that second boom, boom, and then it was the extended version.
Yes.
I always lost my shit.
Yeah. It was
greatest thing ever.
So much better. I wonder if. Okay, so it is on Netflix now.
Yeah,
I believe, or it's on one of the streaming services. I wonder if I would skip the intro. There's very few shows that I think I would listen to the intro every single time. And I think Fresh Prince, I might do at least 50% of the time. I would probably listen through the whole thing.
Yeah. Well, I think it's what, like a minute 5?
Yeah, but it's just a catchy song. It's just
2 minutes.
Exactly, and the extended one's just that much better. I no contest in this one for me.
I concur. Again, it's an iconic song that you could just throw it on a playlist and
people would go crazy whether they heard it, for the first time.
Clubs, everyone's just up off their asses on the floor dancing to Fresh Prince.
Exactly.
All right, so the final matchup of round 1 of the 1990s bracket. This series debuted as a pilot in July of 1990, and then premiered as a replacement show the following January of 1991 and ran until 1995. The show focuses on the life of Blossom Russo as an Italian-American teenager. It began with Blossom's mother having left the family to pursue her own life and career and focus on the family's attempt to adjust. This is Blossom.
Don't know about the future, that's anybody's guess. Ain't no good reason for getting all depressed. Fire up your pad and pencil, I give you a piece of my mind. In my opinion, nation, the sun is gonna surely shine.
All right.
Whoa.
If you were me. Like, one of us was gonna do it. I know that.
Absolutely, we had to.
Just goes without saying. And it's up against. We all know where this is going. I won't even bother. From '94 to 2004.
Yeah, I'm like, when are we playing it? Just
Friends.
just
Right?
So what do you think, Corey?
I remember when that was everywhere.
Everywhere.
Like the show was on, it was a hit, and then like it was on the music channels, it was on the radio. It's very oversaturated.
I had the Friends
The song itself,
like
yeah, it's
soundtrack.
that's right.
I had the Friends soundtrack, but it
It's a
was just songs from the show.
Over.
Yeah.
Different language.
Yeah, like Blossom was a fine show. There was nothing wrong with that show. And it's a fun and catchy theme song.
Everyone
But yeah, Friends is Friends. And oh man, I'm gonna be mad when Friends goes up against Fresh Prince.
Who knows what round that's gonna be? We don't know. I do, but we don't
Yeah,
know.
it better not be in the next. It's gotta be the finals.
One of the rare times too, I think. Oh no, I guess the show that went 10 years that didn't really change its song. Like they had variations of it where it had like went to the chorus rather than having a couple stanzas and stuff beforehand, but
it's pretty much the same, yeah. Out of curiosity, Ryan's choices were
his were kind of rather
the same.
No, mute.
Huh?
Well, Fresh Prince he took, King of Queens he took, Mad About You he took, and Friends.
Really? He took Mad About You and King of Queens. Interesting.
And he's not here, so they're out.
Yep.
Well,
take that.
Was based on our votes, they would have been out too.
Take that, Ryan.
All right, so we have a unanimous decision here on Friends. Sorry.
Like, I'm not that sorry.
It's no Golden Girls.
No, let's not do this again.
So that was the 90s of the TV show theme song tournament.
And now the TV show theme song tournament.
Okay, so we have a bit more movie news. So with that, I'd like to throw out shout out to our partner Video ETA. You guys looking to buy some movies? Do so at videoeta.com. You save yourself 5 to 25% off. Enter the promo code COLLAR on your checkout. Save some pennies. It's videoeta.com. VIDEOETA.com. So I guess we just open with the big stuff.
There's really no need to not open with that.
So Venom.
All right, you know what? Let's save the big one to the end. Let's talk about Venom first.
So we heard throughout the whole production, ever since it was announced, that they're going hard R. They want to be a Logan. They want to be a Deadpool. They want to get the mature audience. It's PG-13. Now everyone's saying they went that way with the hopes of connecting it to Spider-Man. So is it a cop-out? Is it being realistic? What is it? Because I don't know what this movie's going to be.
Yeah, like I'm not... I mean, we talked about it before. I'm not 100% sold on the movie without Spider-Man to begin with. Mm-hmm. I'm curious to see, because I hope that it works out, because if they can do Venom without Spider-Man, they can potentially do the rest of the Sinister Six without Spider-Man, and then bring Spider-Man in. I I feel like Venom is he's a darker character. He's everything that Spider-Man isn't. And if Spider-Man is PG, then Venom should not be PG, you know?
Right.
And I understand the reasoning behind being, oh, like maybe we can get Spider-Man in on this, and it would be a lot harder to go from an R-rated movie down to a PG-13, whereas it's probably easier to go from a PG to an R. But still, like you don't know if it's gonna work. And if it doesn't, then you might as well go all out in the one shot you have.
Yeah, it begs the question then why branch out on your own and just let Marvel do its thing?
Exactly. And you know Marvel's gonna rake it in no matter how they do it. But I don't know. I'm going in cautious for sure. Optimistic, but very very
Too soon.
cautious. Yeah.
Pretty
It's
optimistic.
it's just I have a hard time. I'm really excited to see how they do it without Spider-Man basically. I I can't see it in my head, and so I'm curious as to how they're going to do it. And I think I'm more so seeing the movie based on that than actual plot or anything like that.
Just curiosity.
Yeah, exactly. When is that out? November?
October.
Febtober. Okay.
It's a Friday.
Okay. Good. Okay. So it is coming out on a Friday.
like what
Got
they're doing.
it.
Yeah. I want to say the 19th. That's the third Friday. It sounds like something you would do. You wouldn't do it at the end of the month. You do it middle.
Yeah.
I could just look it up, but I don't want to.
That's all right.
But speaking of October 19th, this had me excited today. And people can't see, but I'm gonna play just a snippet of it here.
You can suffocate evil, starve it, lock it behind bars. But it will find a way to come back even stronger. There's only one true way to end evil. To finish it for good. Let the devil out.
Oh yeah, Daredevil season 3, October 19th.
That's gonna be a good one. So I finally finished rewatching season 1 today. And you said you were nearing the end of your season 2 rewatch?
My second helping of season 2.
Nice.
Then I'll follow that up with the Defenders, so I can just complete Matt Murdock's story.
Perfect.
Free here.
I think. Sorry, go ahead.
I hope that what they're setting up here is that Fisk is out of jail, and he's got to finish what he thought he was supposed to do back in season 1, which is take him out.
Yeah. Like I said, I think I've got a long, not that long of a flight, but I'm heading on vacation next week. So I think I might just have a few episodes downloaded and ready to go for the plane ride.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think I'll be able to catch up on at least. Hopefully by then, I'll get a season of Jessica Jones watched. And then go to Daredevil. I'm gonna hope for Daredevil season 2 on the plane. Not the whole thing, but that'll probably be the majority of my plane ride.
Yeah, it's 13 hours, right? We're almost an hour.
Yeah, exactly. And then I get back, and I'll have 2 weeks to watch 4 other seasons of stuff. Jessica Jones 2, Luke Cage, Iron Fist. I don't need to watch that.
Well, they say season 2 is better,
Season
but
2 is better. It's like better-ish,
how
I'm
season
sure.
1 was, it doesn't say much.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I'll see how far I actually get, but that's my plan for that. But yes, Daredevil season 3 is like Daredevil's been the my favorite
Mhm.
of these ones for sure. So
Yeah, I found it's the most consistent. That in season 1 of Jessica Jones was
yeah, season 1 of Jessica Jones was good.
so good. Want to go watch it now?
All right, well, end the show. We're gonna be
No, there's more stuff to talk about.
there's more stuff.
Keeping with Marvel, so reports are getting out that Disney and their streaming service, Disney Play, I think it's called.
I
They're
thought that
looking.
was just a placeholder name.
Well, we'll go with that.
Yeah.
They're looking to expand the offerings of Marvel series on there and actually do shows built around characters that have already been established in the movies, and looking to do that with Scarlet Witch and Loki. Yeah,
And like
with them.
with them like
We'll bring
with
Tom back to be Loki and Elizabeth Olsen because we need more Scarlet Witch apparently.
and is it well it's not like they're not going to have like a Loki show and
Oh
a
yeah,
Scarlet Witch show, or is
yeah.
it going to be a show that has like sprinkles of Marvel like these characters in them?
So basically, Loki and Scarlet Witch open a B&B, and no, let's do like a mini series.
And then Vision gets mad.
He didn't see it coming.
That's right.
No, it's like these mini series about these characters, so probably like 8 episodes or something.
And is it like I have a hard time picturing what the show would be about, really, and especially with characters who are dead.
Yeah,
uh, you know, I never really watched Agents of Shield. You did though, right? Or at
I
least some of it.
there's 3 seasons, I think.
Yeah, I'm not even sure. But like the good thing with that is there was definite tie-ins with the movies, like randomly, not a lot, but you know they tied into when the movies were happening, and you could kind of go back and uh, and get little bits of information here and there. I feel like
That's
doing a Loki show now would be, you know, just out of timeline, and I think that would be weird.
that's our prequel or something.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like I'll give it a shot. I love Loki. I think
Yeah.
he's one of the best characters in the MCU. Like you know one of the best cast characters in the entire MCU.
Hmm.
Like a Scarlet Witch show, I'd probably give it a chance, but I don't know.
Well, let's point it this way. So, given how well everyone knows, so Loki bites it in Infinity War. So,
Whoa, what?
if you were to see that, then come out and say, "Oh, they're going to do a show with him," does not change how you thought of his demise? Then, like, because that could have been, "Oh, we don't get to see him anymore," but oh yeah, now I get to watch him for 10 episodes in March. It's like, does it give his death less weight now? Because you know, oh, there's gonna be more stories told with him. Might not be
Like
this
I don't.
timeline back then, but
Yeah, like I think it would depend on what the actual show is about, because if the show,
no, he's open a B&B.
yeah, I don't know what they could do, because like you kind of see his growth as a character throughout the Thor movies and
Mhm.
the Avenger movies. Um, and it's still a little annoying with his like back and forth so often, and the dying and coming back and shape shifting and all that kind of stuff. but like there's a gradual growth throughout the movies. I don't know what they would put in a show or like kind of where they would start unless it was well before Thor 1 happened. And then at that point I don't think he was that interesting of a character because he didn't know like his own backstory.
I guess that'd be the other thing too. Well, just think of it like, let's just say I'll compare it to Solo. We knew how Solo went. Well, the character went from New Hope through to Jedi to Force Awakens. So we knew, like like you said, how his character changed, the development stuff. But then to go back to Solo, like, well, we know where this is going. So
Yeah, like it was never there was never any a fear of him dying in
yeah,
any situation. You know he doesn't. Um, I don't know. I agree with you to the point where it's like, yeah, of course we know that whatever danger he gets himself into, we know he gets out of it. Loki's stuff, like he's died so many times. It almost seems like when he died in Infinity War, that it seemed a lot more of a powerful death, and it seemed like a lot more permanent one. So yeah, in going back and seeing the show, like obviously there's going to be some conflict where he's going to get in trouble. But yeah, you're going to be like, well, he got out of it clearly.
again,
It's just
so
yeah, I don't know. If I do subscribe to Disney's streaming service, um, I probably will check it out. I have pretty low hopes though.
it's all Disney stuff, right? So it's PG and
Yeah,
this, and
language.
yeah, you won't have to watch it. But what we did watch, which I'm gonna play again because I'm loving this sound mix. Um, Captain Marvel, saw a trailer. Sounds like
Loved it.
this.
Oh shit, was that the blockbuster?
Spoil- 10.99.
War is a universal language.
Your butts.
I know a renegade soldier when I see one.
I gotta say, seeing young Samuel L. Jackson was amazing. Like he looks so good.
All right, that's not thoughts so far with that? Aside from Sam Jackson with two eyes and less wrinkles and hair.
And hair. The first thing I thought of as soon as it ended was that I hated how far March was.
Okay.
This is definitely going to be the only trailer I watch for the movie. Um, it's pretty much what I've been doing for a lot of the Marvel movies and all the Star Wars movies and stuff like that. I watch the one that comes out, 5 or 6 months away from the actual thing, and then I avoid watching the rest of them as much as I can because, well, we both know how much we see in the trailer. Um,
Marvel's had a
see,
good way of faking you out now because
yeah, that's
we
true.
saw Hulk fight in Infinity War and run in Infinity War, and he had one scene in Infinity War.
Yeah, that's true. But they also have a way of, like, if they hadn't shown the Thor meeting Hulk scene in the trailer for Thor Ragnarok,
Mm-hmm.
that would have been a much better scene, you know?
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
Um, so yeah, I saw that already and I was like, oh yeah, because this is the part where this is gonna happen. Um, I'm very excited about this movie. As I've said before, I don't know anything about Captain Marvel, so I'm gonna be going into this pretty blind. Um, and all I know is that she's more powerful than anyone else
Oh, I thought you were gonna say a
that that
locomotive.
that we've met so far, at least. So I'm excited to see what she has to go up against, and you know what makes her so strong that she'll be able to potentially take on Thanos or help take on Thanos.
I know.
Yes,
Oh,
you in the yes, you in the back there.
me?
I was just stretching.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I thought the trailer was great.
And my only complaint is the scrolls. They're not as green like they are in
That's
the
right.
book.
Yeah, you said that before, and maybe it's just bad lighting.
Well, they were on the beach, so yeah,
May-
possibly
Maybe it was dusk.
sunrise or something.
Yeah, it's that's gonna be. I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be top. Black Panther and uh Avengers. Obviously, it's not gonna top that or anything. But I think it's gonna do very well, especially since it's pretty much leading up into the next Infinity War movie. So it's coming out what 3 months before?
March, and then
Well, that was
May
just
comes
March.
Avengers.
And I heard that they were gonna move that up a week again, just like this year. So it could be like,
Yeah, that's the rumor.
so it's like, yeah, early March and then late April, so like a month and a half. Um, so yeah, that'll be that'll be fun too. So I've got that date set.
Circled on your calendar.
Ashley gonna join us for that one?
Which one?
Captain
Yours or mine?
Marvel?
No,
No. Avengers though,
maybe.
probably.
We'll see.
We'll make it happen.
We had some minor tech stuff come up in the last week and a half.
Nothing huge. Apple announced a new phone, standard S cycle release.
What was not standard was the insane pricing
Wow,
models.
insane. Um, so last week we didn't discuss it at all last week because the announcement was that day.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so the reason we didn't discuss it was I wanted to watch the entire uh, keynote before I talked about it, which I did later on. It was pretty underwhelming for me. I think the thing that I was, I guess, most excited for, um, not for me personally, but just as a product in general, was the new Apple Watch. I think it's very cool, um, and it saddens me that Android does not have anything even close to as good as um, some of the stuff that the Apple Watch does. I think Android still does notifications better, and that's generally what I use my smartwatch for. But the new one has an EKG scanner, so and the heart rate monitor's very good. Apparently, it's got fall detect. It's very um, health focused. That is not only fitness related. So, fall if you fall, if it detects that you fall, it'll kind of ask you, "Hey, are you okay?" And if you don't respond, it'll automatically, you know, call your emergency contact kind of thing. And like stuff like that is useful health stuff. Um, Especially if you're not using the watch for actual fitness things, if you're not using it to track your run or your bike or your swim or anything like that, uh, stuff like the fall detection is it's a huge thing. Also, the screens on the watches are very big. Which you have the 38,
No,
the 40,
42.
42. So the new screen sizes, I guess, are 40 and 44 now, and the 44 is not that much bigger than the 42 that you have, uh, but it just shows a lot more information. I think the watch was the big surprise winner of it all. Um, of the new phones, I don't know. I have the iPhone 10, and these models are not a huge upgrade. But that's the thing with Apple is their S years are not huge upgrades anyway. They're spec bumps inside, and the phone is this percent faster, and apps load this percent faster, and battery life is a little bit better or the same. The cameras are slightly better, all that kind of stuff. Um, but the naming sucks. That's another thing.
Yeah.
The 10X, the 10s Max, which everyone will call the XS Max, um, is
Extra small max.
Yes, exactly, is it's huge. It's a huge phone at a staggering price. The most expensive model of the biggest iPhone is in Canada. It's $2,000 before tax. $2,000.
But you sign up for 2 years, it's discounted.
Yeah, for 2 years you pay like
$100.
$300 a month. um, the that's just the most expensive one, which like very few people are actually going to get. Um, the 10R is probably going to be the big seller, and it has a lot of the same stuff as the 10s and the 10x Max, um, but it's got an LCD screen instead of an OLED, which is fine. Like OLED's better, but LCD is cheaper, and it still looks great. And then it's just missing a few things, like it only has one camera instead of two, and actually, I think those two things are the main differences. So, and it's I think starting price in Canada, it's just over the $1,000 mark. Um, the price sounds a lot better when you're looking at the US dollars. It's 750 US dollars. Uh, it's an insane amount for a phone, especially one that's just an incremental upgrade from what it was. And then if you think about it, if you're going to get the watch, you get Apple Care, all that stuff, everything adds up. And they didn't really announce anything else. They're having another event in a month or two to discuss iPads and new laptops, but this was all about iPhones. Oh, the other big thing um, is iOS 12 launched, and it's good. That's what I'll say about that. Apple finally almost figured out notifications. So
Kind of.
they're almost there. They're so close to getting notifications right. Uh, the biggest thing is they finally introduced grouped notifications. So now you won't have a like steady stream of texts and stuff when you don't look at your phone for half an hour or whatever it is. It's all bundled together, and it looks a lot cleaner. But yeah, that was the Apple event. New
In a nutshell,
phones, they're bigger, they're faster, they have
the
a
home
notch.
officially dead.
The home button is gone. Every Touch ID is donezo. It's all about unlocking it with your face, which it's fine. It's pretty slow on the iPhone 10, and it's really annoying in the sense that you have to be um, in portrait mode to actually in portrait orientation. If the phone is in landscape, even if you're also in landscape, it doesn't always work. So if you're trying to unlock your phone um, in bed or something like that, it's
No dice.
annoying. No dice. Um, Yeah, they have your face now. Apple knows what your face looks like. Everything else is it's fine. I'm excited to actually see the 10s Max in person to see how big it actually is. I think the 10's a pretty good size for what it is. And then yeah, I don't think they had much else at the event.
I don't recall hearing anything other than that.
No. And other than that tech stuff, I don't really have. That was the big tech stuff for the week. It was all of my news feed was Apple, Apple, Apple all week, which is fine because it'll be
Nothing to
like this. Yeah, it'll be like this for another week or so. Google has an event coming up on October 9th, I believe. That's when they'll be announcing their new phones, and then it'll be Google for a bit, and then OnePlus has some stuff, and then it'll be Christmas. So
back to Switch stuff.
back to Switch stuff, exactly. Back to video games, and then that's it.
So, all right, we'll just with a bad dad joke and send everybody on the merry way. Child, you know what the
Yes,
difference
Corey.
is between an African elephant and an Indian elephant?
Sorry, can you say that again?
Do you know what the difference is between an African elephant and an Indian elephant?
I do not.
About 5,000 miles.
Whoa!
Like a okay, so that mercifully is Open Caller for this week. Follow the show facebook.com/Open Caller Podcast, Twitter, Instagram at Open Caller Pod. For Michelle, no Ryan. This is Corey reminding you to keep it casual.